Cool. Sweet. Okay.
What's up, Jeff?
Oh, hello, Ben. How you doing? You are
Pretty good.
dark. You're
Yeah,
pretty much all black.
Let me turn the light on. It should be a little bit better.
Oh yeah, much better.
Let me see if I can text Matt real quick.
Cool. Let's do it.
It's been a hell of a day. My dog swallowed a peach pit and he's at the ER and not sure if he's going to live or not.
Yeah, because peach isn't the pits cyanide, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they said if they eat a bunch of them, but it's the pit, it just doesn't break down. So, like, you know.
Oh, could get lodged.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Man, that's rough. You know, that's why we have warning labels today. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, he hadn't messed with him before. He was just he just wanted attention. We got the new baby and stuff, so it's kind of, you know, he just doesn't get any attention now. So that was his deal. But
I know that exact feeling when Sophia was born, and I introduced her to my dog Angel. The amount of jealousy that comes through her eyes is ridiculous. But I've always had her in situations where there's other people available to her, because usually when it's obvious when the kid's around, you know, your focus is strictly on them. For her though, she just gets really, really jealous. Not like aggressive or anything like that, but she always tries to intervene. She's gotten better in her older age, but I don't know how much longer she'll be around. So 'cause she is 14.
Yeah.
So the cool thing is we're actually live on YouTube, which is even cooler.
Awesome.
So I decided to start going. Last week I wasn't approved on YouTube, so
Mhm.
I never got a notification I was approved or not. I just like, well, I'm going to try this out before you, and hopefully Matt will be able to join us before you guys jumped on. It's like, well, I'm going to play around here to find out.
It worked out.
Yeah, it did. It just went through. It's like, sometimes I wish that YouTube would let us know when things are approved.
Yeah. They
So
just click the thing, I guess.
I'm assuming so. I'm not
Click
exactly
switch.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how's Chelsea doing?
Pretty good.
She-
We got surgery on the 20th, so we've got that going on. And Matt said he'll be on in a minute. And then that's about it. Pretty long recovery on that deal, but she'll come out of it, I think.
Well, that's good. That's what really matters.
Yep. But yeah,
So
she's in there with Reed right now. We went and got him and daycare, and they're in there hanging out.
So is she able to work then, or is she in a lot
She
of
is
pain?
working. Mm-hmm. Yep.
She get to work from
But
home?
we're both actually working from home.
Oh, that's got to make life real easy for the baby, because it's like you need to take quick 5 and go take care of him.
Well, he's at daycare, so because we can't, you have to have childcare if you're teleworking.
Oh, okay.
You have to provide. I mean, it's federal regulation kind of thing. So
yeah, that is true. That I just got my CAT card approved, so that was one of the aspects of the requirements. I don't have my daughter full time, so
did you get a new job?
no, I'm still working for the same one. It's just with our contract, we do work with military contracts where we have to have that clearance. So
yeah, okay, sweet. Yeah, I didn't know you did that.
It's been a long time coming, because I applied for my CAT card over a year ago, or probably 16, 18 months ago. And you know the process. It takes any between 14 to 18 months.
Yeah, it does take some time.
Yeah, and apparently the FBI don't find me threatening because they approved me without having to have the phone interview or the face-to-face. So it's like, well, here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have anything on your record or anything, or if you don't answer yes to any questions, yeah, you're good. What deer is that behind you?
Oh, this is the buck I shot in 2018.
What do you got? You got arrows on his rack?
Yeah,
I got arrows sitting up there. Okay.
Yeah, I got a bunch of
sitting there.
Yeah, so I got a bunch of rabbit hood arrows, and then behind it, sitting on top of it, it's actually a teddy bear. My old boss gave me. It's just one of those inspirational voices in from Build-A-Bear before it shut down here in La Crosse.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, then of course I got my wonderful sign, a whole bunch of hats, and it's been a hell of a year so far, man. It's been a lot of fun. You've been to a
bunch of shoots. I see you've been shooting your bow a bunch.
Oh yeah, man. It is. I've shot my bow more this year than I had since I first gotten my first bow back in 2014. Coming up almost on 10 years of bow hunting. I'm pretty. It's coming together. But I did come across that last year. My eyesight's gotten to the point where I actually need to upgrade and get a clarifier and a magnifier. So it's been a major game changer. Yesterday, this past weekend, we were in Iowa. Waterloo, Iowa. We were shooting down there at Black Hawk Archers there, and I pinwheeled a 60-some yard shot, pinwheeled a couple other shots, man. I've been just really honed in.
You've been shooting good, huh?
Yeah. With having that additional assistance, that's made my life a lot more easier to be able to see and read, because as we all know, we're getting older and our eyesight's getting worse. So then this weekend, Saturday, I'm looking through my binos, and I can see out of my right eye perfectly fine. But when I try to look through my left eye, it's like, this is kind of hazy. Like, it's It's kind of like pixelated. Like, what's going on here? Well, then I close my right eye. It's like, oh, apparently I'm nearsighted.
Yeah.
So Alicia's got to book us both appointments for eye wearing eyeglasses and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm not looking forward to wearing glasses.
Getting older sucks.
It does. I already wear glasses, but these are glasses for blue light lenses because I stare at 3 screens all day long. It gets rough.
Yeah, definitely a thing. Powell's birthday's today. He's 39.
Whose birthday?
Matt.
Oh,
coming
Matt's
on
birthday.
with us.
Oh, that's
Matt
awesome.
Powell. Yeah.
That's pretty. I didn't catch the name. I thought you said Kyle for some reason.
Yeah, Powell. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. He took time out of his birthday to hang out with us.
He's got a birthday dinner he's doing tonight, he said.
Okay, so he'll be on just long enough to bounce out of here.
Yeah, we'll be he'll probably be here the whole episode, but we'll everybody's sending me in the stand pics right now.
Oh, that's
Yeah. I get a lot of those.
Oh yeah. So
everybody's sending stuff out.
Oh, there's Matt. How you doing, sir? Happy birthday.
I don't even see him.
He just popped up. When you're on your iPhone, you have to swipe over to see all the individual videos.
Gotcha. There he is.
Gotcha.
How you doing, Matt?
What's up, man?
Going really well. It's been a heck of a year. It's been a heck of a summer.
Yeah, sorry I'm a little late. I've been moving.
Just no worries, man. Ben and I have been talking. We've been live on YouTube and kind of been branching out, trying to get more monetization and get more content out there for the listeners. Since I've been doing it now, I'm coming up on 150 episodes, but got one right now in the chamber that I'm trying to get uploaded. But currently, SoundCloud is having some issues with some RSS feeds, so it's been kind of a rough go for the last 72 hours because I recorded my very first all-female podcast, and it was it was an opportunity for them to discuss what's been upsetting them and what they'd like to see change. And it's a really good conversation. And this is the one I actually only was on like maybe 5 minutes total. I just allowed the ladies to take over, let my wife Alicia take over and discuss everything that's been going on. Like we talked about sexism, misogyny, bow issues, technology issues and such. And then like a couple of them voiced their grievances regarding certain contests like TAC, some of the fields that actually have a woman's tee box, I guess you want to say, and then something like they want to eliminate that aspect because they all brought up really solid points, and I told them that when you put a weapon, whether it be a bow or a gun in anybody's hands, they just 10x themselves. And putting these limitations, like only allowing them to be in their own subcategories, like let them be hunters, let them be part of the grander scheme because they put in as much work as we do. They may not be able to draw back our 60, 70, 80 pound bows, but they practice and they get their craft zoned in. They're be able to nail it without any issues.
Hey, we've had 54 bucks entered this year, and the leader is a female.
Yeah,
no kidding.
187 2/8
from Nebraska.
Giant. Oh, that's fantastic, man. And Nebraska's no joke for trying to get a buck out there because it's all open fields and they got to play the ravines.
They got a bunch of different types of terrain out there.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, big state.
Yeah,
I got a planned turkey hunt next March because Nebraska has a 3-week long season for bow hunters only. So you pretty much have all access to all the land to yourself. So which is like, this is pretty cool. We got several of us there's 3 of us that we've all got kind of gathered together. We got one guy coming from Green Bay, got myself here on La Crosse. Then we're swinging out to pick up a buddy of mine in South Dakota and Sioux Falls. Nice thing, he's on the way. So I got a camper. Everything's kind of lining up. All the ducks are starting to work out, but we still have to get we still got to get a campsite reserved, which that's going to come next month because we can only book a site 6 months out. So this way, then it keeps people from keeping the same registration or
That's right.
reservation every year. So it's pretty cool.
When's the season out there?
Last week of March it starts, and then it ends the
so
second week
really
of April.
early. Wow,
Yes.
really early.
That is
It
early.
does. But they get warm rather rapidly too. I mean, we're up
Nebraska-
here.
Nebraska can be tough. I've been there twice trying to kill mule deer and whitetails both, and I've big zero.
Yeah, it is. It is no joke getting out there, man. But the tags are not that expensive, and the fact that
it's
you
not.
get
It's a beautiful state.
exactly you get. But what I like about their approach is that when you go for your mule deer tag, you can get a buck tag too, because they know it's going to be difficult.
Definitely.
So Matt, are you going to make it out there this year?
No, I won't hit
Mhm.
Nebraska this year. I drew Kansas, so that's going to probably take up quite a bit of my time, and then Oklahoma, and then my close Midwest states, Ohio, day like that I can make a day trip out of. And Ohio is like an extreme day trip. It's like 5 hours, but I have done it.
Yeah, that's true, man. You last year, how many bucks did you end up killing? Was it 5, 6?
7.
7. Oh man, you're just swinging for the fences here. You're gonna be Babe Ruth of the outdoor world here.
We get after them. I had the kind of I killed some deer that I was really proud of. Not really high scoring deer, but like my first Western grassland deer on the ground stalk. I killed him. He was a really nice deer, and I was happy with it, but I didn't have near as high a scoring average as I have in years past. But all real nice, Pope and Young, some couple 140s deer. So
yeah, you had your one buck. Your Ohio deer was 150, right?
150, and then
and
two
then you had
140s, and then
2 140s, and then
everything
your other
else
ones.
was like 125, 130s.
Yeah.
Well,
But I was really happy with my Oklahoma buck.
What was that
Yeah,
one?
that's pretty cool.
It was like 125. Well, no, 118 actually.
So what's the story
I'd
behind
been
that
there
one?
like 2 years. It's public ground. 2 years. I'd been there like 2 years beforehand and messed up on some really big deer. It's just ground and pound. It's just all ground hunting. I mean, it's just tough.
Yeah.
And I'm not let's say not used to or trained in that type of hunting either. I'm a Eastern stand hunter, so it took a little learning to finally get to where I was, in the ballpark on deer. So like the first year was almost a wash. Like it took me a while to kind of get the gist of how to get on those ground deer. So
Ground and pound is definitely a fun approach. So do you want to elaborate on your 2021 Oklahoma buck then? Because it kind of got me interested, because even Ben mentioned that it's a pretty exciting story.
Yeah, like it was pretty wild. Like this deer, he's running a doe, and I was like in this cedar thicket, and it's cedars out there, but they're about 20 foot tall. They grow in bushes, not trees, like they do around the east. So, like you come right by me at like I'm in this bush, and like you come to my right side, I'm right-handed, shoot all to my left, and like walked right by me like 7 feet away, and then like went on by and was like totally gone, and then like 5 minutes later they come busting back out, and like I get stood up and turn around and make a really like a bad shot on him. I hit him terrible, but I cut his artery right in his neck. He was facing away from me, and I don't know how I shot high, but I didn't think I killed him at all, and started tracking just very minimal blood, and he was dead like 40 yards away. I'd cut the artery in his throat. So,
that's awesome.
It pays to track minimal blood sometimes. So take it as far as you can, and always. So.
Oh, I've been in those shoes, man. When I first started out bow
looked
hunting,
horrible too. Like Arrow didn't have no blood. Like it was, but that dude didn't make it no distance. It's crazy.
It's amazing. Now, when it cut the artery, did it expel out, or did it pull inside?
I guess it pulled inside mainly because it was not very much blood on the ground at all. I mean, it was a very sparse trail. Like I was like, well, I'm gonna carry it a little ways just in case, and like I come around a cedar tree and he's laying there dead. I'm like, there's no way. Like, so I was pretty stacked about that.
I know the exact feeling. This guy right here behind me, I shot him shot him up above the shoulder, and the blood pooled inside the cavity. I had no blood, and he jumped over onto a neighboring property where I didn't have permission to walk on. So I was walking in the dark. Basically, I just kind of started from where my arrow broke off, and I just kind of walked straight in line, because when I watched him bound off because there's really thick buckbrush in there. So I watched him as far as I could. Then once the next morning, when I got permission to go onto the guy's land, I just trailed him where I watched him jump across the creek, jump across the trail, and luckily he's same situation, tilled over 40 yards out.
Yeah, it's a definitely a roller coaster when things like that happen.
Oh man, and
I think that's like the most. I think that's the reason bow hunters are the way we are. It's such an emotional high, and you can go from an emotional low to the most emotional high in the split second. So.
100%. And the fact that I had I had to come back the next day
of a giant or something,
Isn't that the truth? Yeah, I had a giant this past 21 season at hunting public land here in Wisconsin. Here, I had a 160, 170 class come up, and I'm the same boat. I was right-handed, and I was in a little notch of a tree, and there's no way I could completely turn around and get drawn on him. He gave me a 15-yard broadside shot, the best shot you could ask for, and I missed him. I missed it, and I missed the opportunity. But and the fact that the unique thing afterwards is that he didn't stop, he didn't snort wheeze, and he didn't run off. He knew he was in the clear, so he just trotted off, just giving me the tail like a middle finger. Man, it was just a really remarkable experience, because he was the sixth buck that I saw that day, and most of them were all Forkies, a couple of Forkies, little small ones, but they all. I thought he was going to come follow the same way he did, but he read the script like a mature buck did. The wind was coming. I was sitting in the net. It was one of those big old oak trees, so the wind came through and went around the tree. But he came out like this, and he came around me, and it's like I was not, because I heard him walk, and I just did not expect him to show up where he did. I thought he was going to show up further down where I was. I had everything ranged out from 30 to 60 yards.
Never goes as planned.
Oh, isn't that the truth, man? So how is this year, guys, going? Because you guys are crushing. Like, what is it? 60,000 followers now in the group?
We're at 43,000, and we had 1,240 teams sign up. So 3,720 teams, I guess.
Man,
3,720 guys. Yeah. Hunters.
That is pretty cool, guys. I mean, congratulations. Building your guys has it been building what you guys accomplished. I mean, Ben, when you and I first started hanging out, talking and stuff like that, you were just at little 6,000 to 8,000. Now look at it, like being able to.
Yeah, it's definitely compounding.
Yeah, it has.
It's and it just like that. So our so are the prizes and opportunities for guys and stuff. No, it's definitely compounding. We've changed up some of our structure. Everything's through the website now, so it's a lot more professional than just sending an email in. Yeah. Dan's doing a great job with the scoreboard. He gets it updated. You can click on the website and go into the look at the scoreboard. It's a semi-live scoreboard. He'd try to update it every 7 to 14 days, just based off of when he can get to it. He's got a full-time job like all of us, but it's going really well. I mean, we've had deer entered from Idaho, South Dakota, Nebraska, South Carolina. Yeah, South Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina.
Florida. Already this year. I mean, it's everywhere.
Lots of Tennessee, Kentucky.
That's something
that I was really excited about this year already is the diverse of states. We've had states enter this year that we've never had bucks enter from.
Idaho, we've never had a buck in Idaho before.
Yeah.
And it was one of our guys that has been in the league a long time, but he's out there working, and he said, I'm entering a buck for Idaho. Like, it's just, he's going to be out there like 2-3 weeks,
What about Taylor's buck? Have we ever had one from Arizona?
No.
Maybe.
I think we had a Coues from Arizona. I'm pretty sure it was like a late season. I think it was like a January Coues. Nothing like he killed though. Taylor Bullard killed a Oh shoot, it was like 129, I think 133, something like that, non-typical. Yeah.
Oh, down in Arizona.
Big for a Coues. That's a huge Coues steer.
Yeah, it is. I've that's something that I've only heard in legend about them. Guys going out there and hunting and such, and watching Randy Newberg and those guys go down there and tag out
the gray ghost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
no,
one thing
no kidding.
about those deer. Like whitetails can be groomed and farmed essentially by building the habitats, and so can mule deer. I mean, they're killing giant mule deer on these irrigation circles and stuff, but like Coues deer, like they're basically living on rocks, like
they live in the desert. Yeah,
in the desert. Like they don't, they're not manipulated by man as much, and I think that's pretty neat. Somebody kills one of those, it's somewhere tough hunt, hard, very reclusive deer.
A little more nostalgic. I like those really high alpine muleys too. When you like Randy he they're up there. Like them deer have not fed on alfalfa fields.
Yes.
So it's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, I've done some hiking through the Arizona territories there, and it is not a fun. It's a very challenging hike because you're dealing with some very sharp rocks, and on top of that, too, dealing with cactus because you never know if you're gonna fall forward or backwards. Then you got to run the risk of tarantulas, scorpions, and western diamondbacks. So there's quite a variety of things that can kill you out there next to the heat. Well, I never hiked in the heat, so I knew better than to go out there in that 110, 120 degree heat. Is that one of you guys' bucket hunts out there one of these days?
Definitely on the list, but I don't know how high it is, but it's on the list for sure.
I'm more the same type of terrain for the big muleys. I'd like to kill a desert muley.
There you go. So you got tags out there in Nevada?
That's a bucket list type deer. Yeah.
So Matt, when you go out to Oklahoma, have you ever thought about swinging back through Minnesota and Wisconsin and picking up a tag in those states?
No, generally by the time we get done with Oklahoma, it's almost Thanksgiving, and the wives are pretty upset, and they're ready for us to get back.
We're 3 or 4 weeks out.
Oklahoma is generally
anything normal. Yeah. It's really hard for me to travel, other than really past Ohio, or not even that far into Ohio. It's really hard for me to travel east too. Like I like going, I like this to be almost as north as I go, and go a little bit east and then south and then west. But it's pretty interesting. I mean, just like our Kansas deal, me and Matt put in for Kansas, not really knowing what to expect. We both drew, and we're like, well, I guess we need to find somewhere to hunt now. And I just hopped in a group, was like, hey, anybody want to let me and Matt come hunt and stay at your house? And we had 3 guys reach out to us, all guys I knew and stuff. But so that'll be a different experience for us. We neither one of us have ever deer hunted in Kansas. He's turkey hunted in Kansas, but I've never deer hunted in Kansas.
I gotcha. The reason why I bring up those 2 states, obviously one, this is in my hometown, home state. Oh, these are my home states, but they're cheap. They're cheap tickets. They're tags. They're $160 a piece. And so they're not that big a deal to bank and get in. The nice thing is you can buy bonus tags in both states and stuff like that. I live right here in the Mecca. I mean, Tupelo County, just north of me, and Buffalo County produce some of the biggest BNC out there. So really right here in the whole mix of it. Plus there's tons of public land opportunities, private land opportunities, and farm management land. So there is a lot of good shots and stuff like that to be able to put yourself on an opportunity to get yourself a buck. So if you guys ever want to come up north, because Wisconsin, depending on what county you're in, you can hunt all the way up until January 31st. Then obviously it's just like in Ohio, and then Minnesota, they end on December 31st. So there's a good chunk of opportunity. And our season literally opens up this weekend.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
That is neat.
Yeah, so if a guy plans it out right, you can get out to Colorado, Utah, Idaho, North Dakota, South Dakota, and then finally hunt your own state.
Yeah.
I didn't realize y'all opened that early.
Yeah, we do. I wish there was an opportunity where we could actually have a shot to be able to go after some velvet deer, but the closest we could do that is we have to go out to North Dakota and South Dakota. I
wish every state would open. early.
Why is Kentucky why are you guys so
It's
lucky to
just
be able
that's
to
the
do
way
that?
it's been with Kentucky for a while, and Tennessee was kind of reacting to, like, I don't really know exactly that conversation, but they were seeing how much all the dollars that they're bringing in, so they're like, hey, we can do that too. 3-day velvet season for Tennessee,
Yeah, I couldn't see why we can't do it either. I mean, we have an opportunity to
You
do it.
got
We have Labor Day
your deer
weekend.
in velvet at the same time everybody else's is, so might as well hunt them.
Might as well. Yeah, exactly. And then if they want to increase the price for that 3 days, like, people will be willing to pay it. Because especially to be able to get a Wisconsin buck that's in red velvet, I mean, who wouldn't want to pay a little bit more money to have an opportunity to get after that?
Yeah, I mean, in velvet, some people don't like them, but I mean, a lot of people, they're kind of a bucket list thing, just like you was talking about the Coues, and they're one of those deals though that, like, some of them you kill are super ugly, like the real tick infested capes and ears and stuff, and then some of them you kill are just absolutely gorgeous. They're really pretty when they're pretty, they're pretty.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, definitely. Did you guys see that beautiful caribou that shot up in Alaska from a guy from Utah? It's like something. Oh, just absolutely massive. You go through my Instagram feed. Its name's Andrew. I can't remember his last name, but just
Was
a
this
massive
killed
buck.
like early in August?
Yeah,
Like early August? I
did
saw
see
that.
Yeah.
Mega, like,
Oh,
biggest caribou I've ever seen.
yeah. That's
Mega.
exactly standing right now. That's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool looking.
So, what do you guys got going on for some of your major sponsors this year? Because I know you guys got a donated amount for pretty much every single state, and then you got some bows and stuff like that. But what else you guys got going on? Because the snowball has just been continuing getting bigger and bigger.
It has. So prizes in general, 15 bows, different categories, everything from top team overall to top traditional team to top women's team. We've got some states that are sponsored. We have.
I like the ones for just being there.
Yeah, we've actually, I think we actually may have another one coming up too, maybe to double the amount of bows given away just for entries. But yeah, you just enter a buck and you're eligible to win a Matthews V3X. I mean,
Ooh,
that's
gorgeous.
that easy. I mean, you don't have to you don't even have to talk to anybody in the group or anything. You just enter, you sign your team, you signed up, before the end of August, you kill a 6-pointer, submit it, and you're in the drawing,
That is pretty impressive. I think that's what kind of what draws a lot of people to your guys' contest, because A, it's free, B, it's like you have these awesome contests to be able to get in there too as well. There's a bunch of new content. There's a bunch of new product developers out the Advanced Outdoor Technologies. They make the release holders for thumb releases. Then you got the bow hitch has just been taking people by storm. The bow spider. So there's a lot of different people out there that are putting together some solid products to be able to reach out to and ask them to come on board.
Yeah, very early on, the number one, complaint that we would hear, or just, the grumbling would be, I live in Alabama. My team will never beat an Iowa or a Kansas team or something, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why we set up the state stuff. Every state had, I think we have 38 states that have a taxidermist, and there's other prizes too. If you kill the biggest buck in your state. So in that prize itself, you're only competing against that state. And then we did have a handful of really nice traditional bucks come through. We had a couple 170s, getting entered. And
I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. Oh my, could you 7 yards, and it's not like, and I feel like there's lots of ranges with compound. You draw anchor and get on your peep and, and you're settled in, you're autopilot. I don't think I would ever get autopilot with a recurve. It would probably be that 5-yard range at 7 yard, what you'd have to, but you know how it is when your entire housing is all of its pinwheel, on the deer, you can shoot with confidence. But with a recurve, it'd be kind of tough. But No, that's the thing. Like, we were looking at it and saying, okay, what's a different dial we can turn to have something for the guys that are the trad guys. And see, there are some traditional teams that are in less, lesser known states for whitetail, or just they're not known for big deer. But the thing is, our traditional team could very easily win with 120 average, because it's tough. I mean, it's tough to have three guys on your team, three-man team to all kill a buck in general. And then when you add that traditional element, three solid bucks. But another thing that we started this year, we started the King of Queens, which there was several people wanting us to bring back the doe contest. Weighing the doe is a pain in the ass. Okay, like it just is. Like, remembering to do it. What if you're deep? What if you decided to pack in deep? And saying you're going to pack the deer out. Well, you don't have a scale for that deer, and you're gonna cut her up and stuff before you come out. And it's just so we were like, how do we do this? So we're just doing it just based off a north and a south region, and it's a accumulation of does kind of thing. How many does you kill for the year, and that thing has really took off. I mean, we've got like 25 entries in that already this year. It's a bunch.
I bet we're gonna have I don't know. Could we have over 1,000 does entered? Maybe.
What this is, you think about like when we traditionally kill does, we don't start killing does really until later. It's easier. It's cold. We're done. We're out of buck tag.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we do a lot of that, hunting together and stuff. Like we'll both go somewhere or whatever. But
sit where you can hear each other shoot.
But the thing is, you can stack up several days there where, you're killing one every day or every other day. And that's way different than the buck hunt. Now, the buck hunting, you'll see a spike, right? First 2 weeks of November, that we'll have over 60-70% of our deer entered in those two, from Halloween, until mid-November. That's like 60-70% of our deer buck entries. But then I just expect that dial to get turned up when you hit about Thanksgiving and guys are, off work and they've already killed their buck and they probably ain't hunting in a week or so. And they're like, I'm going to go shoot something. I'm going to go shoot something for the King of Queen, go smash 2 does, one night. And I think, it would be a very tall order just because it's kind of a niche-y thing. And, it's not really, what I'm saying? Like everybody wants to shoot a buck, right? But like, I could see some guys contributing 8, 10, 12 does very easily and like totally turning this thing up and trying to it would be really neat to see more does than bucks entered. I think that'd be really cool.
I think it's very possible.
Yeah,
it
is. I mean, you already know you're going to kill more does than bucks.
Generally speaking.
Yeah, you'll kill, between 5 and 7 or whatever bucks. And then, just like I do, if you're tied with bucks and does, you're going to go shoot another doe just to do it, but but there's going to be some different contributions there. And I like it because, there is literally no pressure, as far as like your, there's no ground shrinkage or anything, what I'm saying? Like you shoot, it's a doe and it's a doe, unless it's a shed buck or something crazy, but it's pretty cool. And we had some guys step up to run that. And it's nice to see some new guys stepping up and doing some stuff, wanting to take advantage. When we have a bow and we have a list of prizes for each region on that stuff. We have a bow on each winner of each region this year. And then we got like 7 prizes in each region. It's crazy how many prizes are in this thing, and it's neat too, because no matter what kind of hunter you are, you would literally have to be just like, hey, I'm going to shoot the first deer I see, and then I'm not hunting no more, or something, but no matter what kind of hunter you are, you can compete in one facet of this contest and meet other like-minded hunters. You see what I'm saying? Like you probably could, some of these doe guys are probably going to connect in some way and just talk back and forth and they're like-minded because they're going to shoot a lot of does.
I've already had a guy reach out to me from Ohio talking about trading out late season doe hunts.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
I mean, we fire down on them come December-ish,
Oh my gosh,
yes.
yes.
A day, Yeah. So, and of course it'll probably turn into us trading out bucks and stuff, but he's like, and he messaged me and asked me about it. He said, man, you want to come up here and we'll smash some does and I'll come down there and do the same.
Yeah, why not?
And, I'm like, sure, go ahead,
I'm down.
He kills big deer too, and we'd end up,
Mm-hmm.
If you become friends, just another place to go, and
absolutely same for him too. It's just, that's the best kinds of, relationships and stuff. Yeah, that'd be fun. Throw a new doe. I can just see us doing like some stupid stuff, like doing like a weekend challenge. Like, hey, bucks have like slowed down. All right, we got a night, some cold weather coming across the country because it's hitting everybody the same way, right? Say, all right, everybody's still open. Let's call your teams out in this thread. Winning team's going to win hats or something. I could just see us just smashing a bunch of does one weekend as a group. Be funny. I mean, I don't know. Like it can go a lot of different directions.
Oh, definitely. Especially if you want to throw in those oddity challenges, like who could shoot the most rabbits or the most squirrels, or even if you're really challenging, go after some pheasants or even some crows if you get close enough. But having those oddball things, because remember last year Trev did his with the Outdoor Drive podcast, he did his squirrel competition, and that worked really well.
That. A lot of people had fun. A big hit.
Yeah,
that was a big hit. Like I was seeing all these pictures of measured squirrels. I'm like, what is going on? And and finally I caught on to it, and I was like, I was too late in to get going with it. But I was like, that's really like, there's a bunch of people, like every state it seemed like participated.
It doesn't take a lot of land to go squirrel hunting. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of land to go squirrel hunting.
Oh no, it doesn't.
You can do a lot of squirrel hunting from your
backyard,
back porch. Yeah.
The only stipulation is you have to use a bow.
Feeder. Get the bird feeders going.
Yeah, definitely. Oh God.
or if you're in a state that baits is like, you just just watch a squirrel just come to your pile. That's not you can call it a novelty shot. So whoever shoots the biggest squirrel in your state, there you go. There's a new idea for you guys to throw it out there, because now it can throw in kids in that matter.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys have any all kids teams this season?
We do. We don't, we have lots of women's teams and lots of youth teams. We don't really track anything until they start entering deer, but yeah, I mean, we've got like in our form, we've got it broke out, are you a male or female? Are you under the age of 16? Were you on public ground? We've got a public ground bow that we're giving away this year. Go Wild's doing that for us. Was this a traditional or a compound bow? I mean, we've got several little subcategories. So, no, but it's going to, I mean, like I said, man, our leader of the entire contest right now for bucks, is a female. So that's the first deer she's ever entered with us. So 187 2/8.
He's going to stay up there pretty high too.
Yeah, he'll be up
like
there.
She's the first state that opened and she killed a 125,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he'll be up there for a while.
Stay up there.
Yeah. I mean, we'll always have a 200 entered, every year we'll have at least one or two. We may have 5 entered this year, but yeah, that buck will be up there for a while. That buck's in I'd say that buck is in our probably our top 20 of all time too. So
wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
He's a big deer. It's maybe top 25, but he's big. And
really
yeah, he's got like, I think it was like almost an 8-inch mass measurement on one of the sides. It's like that.
Wow.
I had another guy ask me about him today. He's like, you don't look that big. I'm like, zoom in and look at the mass on that deer.
Yeah. I've got some different. On that buck, they probably did better jobs sending us measurement pics and videos than any deer we've ever had entered. Like, I mean, they were like very specific on their angles, and then they showed us the main bin measurement. You know, they started and they rolled around the thing. I mean, I thought they did a really good job with it. But yeah, we're growing, and it's definitely got its own growing pains, but it's, I mean, things are falling into place. We've got some awesome people helping us now. So it's definitely freed me up for sure.
Oh, definitely, especially with having your first son. It's like you just all sort. You just with your first year, it's like you're always going a mile a minute or a million miles a minute just because of all the things that are going on. And it's like it's amazing how everything has worked out for you guys.
Yeah, people step up, so it's good.
Yeah,
and Matt, we decided to remodel a house right before deer season started, so he's been doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, guys. I'm really happy that things are kind of working out for you guys. It's this season for myself, it's like we've seen a nice growth in listenership, reach as well. But just getting out there and being more in the face of everybody, it's been very rewarding. And I got next week, I got a podcast coming out with Chris Ham on the HHA USA. Then he's also in the works of doing a HHA Sports podcast as well. So I'm looking, it should be pretty cool for it to have one of you guys get on there. Now, if you have a veteran that actually ends up doing something, let Chris know, because I'm sure it'd be a great way to get that veteran to have an opportunity to talk to him as well.
I got 4 or 5 right now that I know that would be good guests.
Fantastic. Yeah, because Chris, the way
that's a great cause he does. We went and hung out with Chris one weekend at one of his veteran shoots, and I guess it was last summer, wasn't it, Ben?
It was, yeah.
And it was a great time. Just great people, great cause. I spent a lot of money at just donating to it while I was there, and it was like I really appreciate what he does. It was a really cool thing. I just thought we was going to a bow shoot, and it turned into something that, kind of touched you a little bit, see how much work they go into trying to help the veterans.
Did you guys watch the most recent honor flight video that came out here at the end of August?
I saw it shared.
I watched it with my dad, but I've not seen the latest one.
Yeah, it's really good. He debuted it at the banquet. The Whitetail is a limited HJ banquet there in Wisconsin there, and it's very powerful. There's this one scene in that they'll register with you where the veteran comes up and he comes to a statue, and it's like, I served with her, and it will hit your heartstrings like you wouldn't believe. And being present, that they did present the honor flight with a check to pay for one of the flights. It cost $70,000 just to ship out 100 vets, and we were able to hit that goal and plus more to roll on to the next year. There's going to be some exciting things coming for next year. I got to go shoot one of Iowa's courses there, and that was really nice. And I'm gonna definitely put my 2 cents in for Chris to consider that one right there. I'll even tell him, it's like, you drive this lacrosse, I will drive the rest to go shoot this course because it's so much fun.
Awesome.
Then Tyson Trunkhill with the Dust Off Project, he's really stepped it up. Where now pretty much every event there's been a bow donated to a veteran that's in need to get him.
We met him at that shoot as well. He's a great dude. Yeah, really cool guy. Yeah,
definitely. If you, for whoever decides to, like, for the winners and stuff like that, these new bows that are coming through, and if they have a bow they want to donate, don't hesitate to let them know, like, hey, reach out to Tyson, because it'd be great to put a bow into somebody else's hands, because it's been really taking off for him. It's been a great win for him. A lot of work has gone into, and things have been really paying off.
Awesome.
You guys going to be able to make it out to next year for one of the shoots?
Yeah, we'll probably swing up there through one. Had a lot. We both had an incredible amount of stuff going on this year.
Yeah,
I barely even turkey hunted this year. I hunted like 6 times, I think.
Did you tag out?
No, I didn't shoot any. I didn't even never drew my bow.
Yeah, I scouted for all the way up until Mother's Day weekend, where I was for my week, and nothing. I was so quiet. I had my decoys out. I was squawking. Nothing. How about you, Matt? Did you get your you get another 3 or 4 birds this year?
I just killed one. Like I said, I bought a house in January, and Basically spent the last 6 months making it like we want it, kind of our dream home. Hopefully forever, well, until I move out west. But anyway.
Well, congratulations,
get the
man. That's
kids
a big
out of the
win.
house,
Yeah, that is something that we've been figuring out too. Like if once my daughter hits 18, we're going to go mobile. We're gonna try to take advantage of what we have in this great country to go out and do some small game hunting. Like my idea is to go down to Arizona and get some javelina, go get after some fowl, because January down there in Arizona is just a prime state for small game. Go after jackrabbits and stuff. It's just the stories that I've heard, that the way Rennie Newberg brags about it down there and why it almost cost him his CPA career. It's underrated.
Yeah, we had a mule deer hunt planned down there in January of the year that COVID hit, and we've never made it back yet. So we got to get that scheduled back, get on that. So
definitely. No, with that outfit, was it OTC or you drawn for it?
Yeah, OTC. Yeah.
So you guys were
just friends, people we knew down there, that were kind of in the know already, and just knowing you can go hunt something, a deer that's rutting in January,
that's in itself. Yeah, it's fun.
That's really cool.
That it is, guys. So what's next for you guys on your plate of things you want to get accomplished for the upcoming next season?
Shoot more deer.
Yeah.
Kill a bunch of deer.
Yeah.
We're in killing time now.
Yeah. You got them new stickers handy, Ben?
Yeah. I got some. Got the We Kill Deer stickers. We're gonna get them out there. I gotta put them on the website so everybody can get them. But yeah, we're I mean, it's like I was telling, I had some drawings that I needed to do. We had some drawings for reaching, when we passed 1,000 teams. I was like, hey, I had some prizes and stuff to do drawings for. Well, I hunted Tennessee velvet, then I hunted Kentucky velvet weekend, opening weekends. And I just told the guys, like, look, when we're in deer season now, I get around to it. I'll always make sure it happens. I was like, but deer season comes first before the Bowhunting League. Like I'm trying to hunt. I've got to kill stuff. We talked about it. It was like the second year I think we were doing it. I was still doing everything on my own, doing the scoreboard. We were walking in to one of our public ground spots, and I had some drama going on with somebody's score. They're bitching about something, and Matt's like, you can turn that off and like delete everything and just forget about it until whenever, never look at it again. I was like, I agree. And then we went deer hunting. It's I had to figure out how to compartmentalize things to where that, when we start, like put it on the list, but don't worry about it until it's convenient for me, but, and especially now with the kid. So it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, especially if since it's not monetized, it's tougher to be able to dedicate that full time or even to find somebody to do it. Now it's like I see the next evolution for you guys would be figuring out how to develop an app for it.
Yeah, people, to be honest with you, I can't stand damn apps. I hate having more apps on my phone. I think if we were able to do something like that was unique and brought a lot of value, but I think just using what's free right now to where we can reach people in all these little channel circles, essentially we have broke off from our dependency on one or two apps, right? Because we're on our website. Everybody's got a browser on their phone. Just the internet's not going anywhere. Websites aren't going anywhere. So we've got that.
Facebook can sure shut us down.
Yeah,
The only thing I do see an app might sometime in the future, kind of like some of the states do, just simply, upload your 8 pictures and your deer, and it kind of filters things for us. Maybe, that'd be the only thing is entries. Besides that, I agree with you there.
Yeah, like with our form, I was thinking it was going to be a heavy amount of workload, but like with our form now, because they have to put the state that it gets killed in. it helps, categorize these things for him.
It's a
And
filter.
yeah, it like filters things down to,
Yeah.
this chunk or this chunk. So, but yeah, it would be hard to develop $150,000 app without some kind of investment or something. But, and so even that, like, what is it, what value are we going to be able to bring with that? There's so many hunting apps out there now. Like, you look at, I mean, there's Deercast, there's Go Hunt's got one, Onyx, Base Map. There's so many.
I mean,
Yeah,
just,
and they've
it'd
got
be hard to
forums in
bring.
them. Yeah, they've got Go Wild's got an app. They've got forums in them, and then they're doing the maps too. And like, I'm just like, I don't ever like following what somebody's done before. So like, we would have to figure out how to like really make it unique. So, but yeah, no, it's kind of one of the things, we don't, if you don't have an incredible amount of structure, if you have the opportunity, and we have the opportunity, it's very easy to participate. The group itself, the hunters, the guys that are participating themselves are generating all the content, and they're driving this, like, it's just kind of like, it's just its own animal. It's driving itself. So we're just kind of try to steer it one direction or another, but we can't stop where it's going. We're just going to let it keep going. So, but
that's a good
it's been pretty neat.
Yeah, I don't blame it for doing that. After listening to your explanation for it, makes just sense just to keep it where it's at, unless you decide to partner up with an app. But it's like, you need to have an opportunity where it's going to be able to database everything. I think like Toxin has their app that came out, and he's trying to build something where it's trying to be club centered. So this way, then it gives people an opportunity to find out the clubs that are in your area, because a lot of clubs are dying off, but they need to bring in that fresh blood, and they're trying to figure out a way to market to it. And with Facebook and Instagram, we all know that they provide that censorship. It's been difficult for them to try to grab the younger blood. And then also, top of the two, you got to try to deal with the ones that don't want the club to change type scenario. So that probably like be one of the easiest ones to work with, because it's like they're already gathering all the data now. It'd just be easy to put all that stuff in there and then drop pins. But yeah, I would probably push that off on the back burner anyways. That is not a priority, because then now you have to figure out some way to pay for that. And if you're not doing enough retail or merchandise sale, there's no sense in trying to reinvest that money in something.
That's what, we give an incredible amount of stuff away. And
exactly.
And I'm throwing free stuff in here all the time into, like, even when guys would win a product from somebody else, I'll throw free stuff in there, and then I'm paying for the shipping. And like, but my thought would be, it's always better to invest back into the group itself, because, you're going to get more value out of that than to developing some other product that may or may not, I could see us doing a group, a group shoot or something like that sometime, like a summer get together kind of thing. I think that could be really big. We've done a handful of them, and they've been real successful. I mean, we did one, the first turkey league we did. Our group was like 1,200 then, and we had like 60 people show up at this thing.
Yeah, still really good.
And that, yeah, and that was like 2019 or something. Like, I mean, it's a long time ago. And I say long time, it feels like a long time ago.
It does.
And but we've come a long way since then. So yeah, what could we do now? Like, what, if we had a little bit more,
we'd almost need to do like regional, like we type situation.
Yeah, but you can start with one and see how it goes, and kind of do the feelers and see what area. I think realistically, Oklahoma, even though it is a big state, I think Oklahoma is hands down our fastest growing state. We have more prizes coming out of there. They went from being like the 16th, 17th number of entries in 2020 to like third last year, third or fourth. They're blowing up. and there's we've got a lot of, but the thing is
We're
we
talking
have
about
no
Oklahoma.
market share. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like the guys that we have no market share in any state, though. Even though like our number one state is Kentucky, still we're only having, we don't have enough entries there to have market share. We need 100 times more to where I feel like we have an impact. Like we're getting enough people from Kentucky. So saying all that, I think we can do some more group things, some more in face, in person type things. But yeah, just keep doing what we're doing.
That is, yeah, that's a great approach for that. I know, the OK's Hunter, they did their first kickoff they did a small invite for their hunting, but it's like you could always partner up with HHA USA or work with what is it, the boys there, the working class bow hunter. Those guys throw on a shoot every once in a while too. And just kind of partner up with one of those. Just
I
kinda,
went to their shoot this year.
yeah, down there in
They
Illinois.
had 150, 200 guys at their shoot. I mean, they had quite a few there, and it was fun. They picked up a bar tab too at the end of the thing, so it was nice, and it was cool. I mean, those are the kinds of things I think I could see happening. You have these small groups doing those things versus some of your larger, more traditional things that are kind of like just more commercialized. People want to just be themselves. They don't want to have to fit in some kind of mold, just be themselves and come and do their own thing. But yeah, OKS did they did the Foam Fest.
Yes, they did.
They just did that. I think it was last month.
Last weekend.
Sometime.
Yeah, it was the last week of August. It was the same weekend that HHA had theirs. So the downside is it rained all weekend. It sucked. It sucked.
Yeah.
It's
about right.
At least with where I went with Custer, Wisconsin, they have a 40-yard indoor range. So we were able at least be able to do a scramble in the afternoon on Saturday, and you still be able to shoot at least, I think it was 29 targets you could shoot indoors. So they made it work.
That's cool.
Then Saturday it rained all day.
You can put your hard-earned money knowing that our whatever get together we do will be far and away from any type of hunting we can be doing at that time.
Oh yeah,
we won't.
Yeah,
I don't expect anything to cross. I mean, I could see us doing something in the spring, just because turkeys, a little bit easier to hunt. The turkey rut's a little different, but yeah, nothing as far anything close to the velvet or anything close to big time hunting weather. I mean, when it opens, now, I mean, we're hunting weather systems, until we get into the rut and stuff. Like you have a good weather front come in, open a weekend, you got a good a chance to kill one then as you do anytime if you know where they're at. And but anyway, and Matt's got a Tennessee opening here pretty soon. Are you going to do Tennessee first? Or are you going to go to Ohio again early?
Well, that's what I was telling the guy today. I said, if it's weather like today, it was 56 when I got out of the house this morning.
Yeah.
And then like a high 70 all day. So if it's like that, I'll probably be in Ohio. But unless something crazy shows up here in the next 3 weeks, So
yeah.
I know here in the Midwest we're cooling down. Here in Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Well, generally opening, we don't, in Tennessee, it's hot. I mean, generally September is just incredibly hot. I mean, like as hot as y'all ever see, and then the humidity as well. And, I'll have some big deer, but I mean, the likelihood of me killing a big one opening weekend is pretty slim when it's that kind of hot. And they're out of velvet. It's that hardhorn and that testosterone changes everything. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
That is certainly true. Yeah, that's definitely the fact with that. I'm hoping it's going to be a decent year. So the only thing that I've noticed that is that when it comes down to New York is trying to be passing through no, granted, doesn't affect bow hunting, but it does affect gun hunters and stuff like that, because New York is requesting credit card companies to go ahead and start creating a weapons code, an ammunition code. I'm assuming it's probably going to trickle down in the archery world too, where you're going to have if you're buying a new bow or archery. So they're purposely going through and going to be being able to do that stop payment. It's a very interesting time to be going with, and I blew some people's mind when it came down to it, like Bill Gates buying up. I think it's like he's up to 270,000 acres now between. Pretty much going out the way to Illinois. I'm not sure if he's bought anything out there in Ohio, but they're buying up bunch of land. So it's going to definitely play a role in that aspect. No, in Iowa, he bought 67,000 acres, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Nebraska. Nebraska, he really cleaned house in there, but there's a lot of natural aquifers underneath Nebraska, freshwater. So they're buying all that up really rapidly. So there are going to be some climate issues there's going to be some man-made issues we're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, Jeff, you totally lost me. I feel like you talked about 4 different topics right there.
I did really talk about those different times, but those are things that you can.
We're talking about hydrology and.
Let's leave politics and all that outside. Let's go deer hunting. So
yeah,
that's right.
The only downside is we got to pay attention to it. Yeah,
my blood pressure is doing really good right now. Let's don't get too excited.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah,
it's deer season, man.
It is. I am definitely looking forward to this season. This is going to be a very fast-paced one. I'm hoping to be able to tag out soon, and hopefully before the rut here in Wisconsin, then jump over to Minnesota and get one there because it's like I said, $160, very cheap.
There you go.
And people are complaining about it. It's like it should be more expensive for non-res.
I mean, sometimes sometimes you can get overran with cheap opportunities.
Yeah.
So it can you can love it to death, as Steve Ranella would say. So
that is true. We've also seen an uptick in doe tags too. Like some counties here, you can go from 2, 3, 4 doe tags to your $1, and it can be. People are not quite confident in the DNR here, so we believe the numbers are actually higher than they should be. But we just kind of go off of what people show us in their trail cams. So now, have you guys had any entries from over in Europe? Would you ever consider adding those to the fallow deer or any particular species from overseas?
I'd say we're going to stay with North American native species. We've had some. You got the Sitka up in Maryland and up in there. They've got those, and then. But we don't recognize those or anything because it's just too different. What's so cool about Muleys, whitetail, Coues, blacktail? They're all based off the same scoring system, so we're able to make adjustments for each subspecies and But no, we're just going to stick to native North American deer.
Okay,
they were all the same species at one time as well.
Yeah. Yep.
So. With the Sitka, that's actually not that was that species was brought in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was the case or not because I've never had really any interest in Sitka. So
they're like shooting German shepherds with little antlers.
They sound like an elk.
They're in like a real small region. Like it's right around Chesapeake Bay area,
real niche ecosystem. They like swamps,
marshy stuff. Yeah.
I saw what was it, Ranella and was it not? It wasn't Giannis, but they went out there and went muzzle hunting for him.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
I ain't saying I wouldn't go shoot some.
No, I'd shoot it.
Yeah, I'd go shoot some.
We're trying not to clutter the contest up, I guess would be a good way to put it, Jeff.
Yeah.
Just kind of
keep it simple.
That makes sense.
The KISS method.
Yes, keep it simple, silly. Now, do you guys going to do anything for because since you guys have these opportunities to see all kinds of different deer, are you going to put anything together for like a cook-off contest or anything like that? Submitting a recipe?
I hadn't done any recipe stuff. I've tried to get. We've got a couple guys that are like hard, which Matt does a lot of. I mean, he cooks a lot of deer meat and stuff, but we got some guys that are doing some more like chef style cooking. I've told them like, hey, when you're doing this stuff, especially in the off season, the summer and stuff, I'm like, hey, post your recipe up. do a little video, go live, whatever. It don't matter. I mean, I like trying different stuff out, but
Yeah.
hadn't had anybody really jump at the chance. I do follow a couple of cooking guys. You got Hunt Chef. He's does a lot. You ever watch him?
Oh yes.
He does a lot of neat stuff.
Yeah.
He cooks a lot of. He's got a lot of like different ways he prepares stuff. But yeah, like I said, I hadn't had anybody jump on the gun and say, "Hey, I want to start doing this." But
I definitely have picked up the smoking torch. My wife got me for Father's Day was a smoker, so I have been doubling down on it and really expanding my horizons for it. It's been a blast. So it's like always gets me curious what other people come up with when it comes down to different cuts of meat, because it's
venison
so much fun.
Venison is incredible. Venison's incredible on the smoker.
Oh,
I mean, it's great. Remember Mosley cooking that shoulder?
We cooked a whole ham
half
off
of that
a
ham
yearling.
or something.
Yeah,
that was good.
it's really good.
Yeah, I love smoking up. I did my first deer neck here in 2020 actually. We
already.
Yeah, we cut it. One of the guys that I helped them teach them how to butcher shot the deer in the neck, and so we had to do a lot of surgery to remove everything out of it. But by the time we're all done with it, we were able to actually we could cut this up. We're gonna leave this one big chunk of meat. So we let it brine for 30 hours, and we threw it in the smoker for till it hit 135, and man, it was just fire. It was absolutely delicious.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the neck meat absorbs so rapidly. I think it's can be underappreciated for what it has to offer. I mean, I grilled up a good old, looked like a London broil for how big it was, and I filleted it all. I cut it all out, and then I put it in barbecue sauce, let it marinate for about 24 hours in the fridge, and vacuum seal it. Then I just fill the whole thing with barbecue sauce and seal it back up and threw it back there, and did that low and slow for about 4 to 6 hours, and barbecued, basted throughout the day, kept it right at 200 degrees. Man, It turned out so delicious.
Yeah, as long as you don't cook it too hot, most people don't understand that. Just because it's a lean meat, just like chicken, you get it hard and tough. It's the same situation. It's kind of hard to screw venison up, but it's always good.
Yeah, I overcooked a backstrap.
Well, Jeff, I'm getting summoned.
Oh, getting summoned from Reed?
Summoned to the other room. So yeah.
All right.
So thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah,
Happy birthday, Matt.
Appreciate it. That's where I'm headed, is to birthday dinner here in just a second.
Definitely, Matt. Oh, happy birthday. You guys enjoy your night. Thank you for spending your night with me for a bit.
Yeah, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, man. See you.
Definitely.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you guys later. Bye.
See you, bud.
See ya.
See you, man.
Let's see here.